Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Dick. We are the Annuity Guys.
Dick, alert, alert, alert,
Scam alert, senior alert.
Here it comes, here it comes. We're going to tell the nasty secrets of all those marketing schemes that are out there. The 8%, 15%, I see it everywhere. They wouldn't lie to us, would they?
Well, Eric, that's what folks feel like once they call in and they talk to us, and they're like, I have a guaranteed, I talked to this guy, and he wouldn't lie to me, would he? It was 8%. That's the floor. That's the minimum I can earn. And in this other place, they can show me how to get a 15% cash flow, income for life. 15% on my assets. Can you imagine that?
So it must be true. If they say it, it must be true.
Eric, they did. It is true, but they left out one important point.
Just one?
Several. But on the 15% for life, they forgot to tell me that I needed to be
90?
Nearly 90 years old to get that.
Yeah.
And then on the 8%, they neglected to tell me that that's really never my money, that I can... It really isn't my cash that's growing.
If it's a floor, a guaranteed floor, it must be mine.
Well, let's break this down.
Yeah.
Because, folks, you really do need to understand how these annuities work so that you're not duped and so that you can actually use them as the tool they were designed to be used for. And if you use them correctly, you're going to get a lot of benefit out of them. But don't be pulled in by the, the hyperbole.
Yeah, when we look at these 8%, the 7%, the 10%, roll-up numbers, what they usually don't tell you is, yes, those may be minimum guarantees on the roll-up for future income. And here's the caveat. You have to use that bucket of money, and it's not really a bucket of money, it's a ledger account, for future income. We call it I always call it the funny money account when I talk to folks.
It's virtual money. It doesn't exist. It's a formula just to get you a guaranteed income number. Now, is there anything wrong with that, Eric?
No. If you understand it, you understand how it works, and you understand what it's going to help you achieve, that's fine. But what the misconception comes in is when people think, well, if I leave it in there for 10 years, I can walk away and have this much money.
It's the minimum. It's the floor. It's the guarantee. It's the contractual guarantee.
But you can't walk away with it. So you can turn on a future income stream with those numbers.
Yes. And folks, to maybe put that in a little bit of perspective, on the 8% roll-up, the 7% roll-up, and Eric and I have to tell you that there's very, very few companies out there other than maybe a couple of obscure ones that are still giving 8% on the roll-up. Yeah. Yet we see it advertised all over the internet, 8% plus. So they're maybe confusing the 8% payout with the 8% roll-up.
Or maybe a bonus, or maybe who knows what they're talking about.
But on that 8%, on the roll-up aspect, if you can leave it in deferral, for several years, you can take, say, let's just use, Eric, let's use a number of $100,000 because it's easy to work with. So someone leaves it in for 10 years, $100,000. Well, that turns into a number of $200,000 that they can base their income off of for the rest of their life. Now, there's still another little caveat to that, a payout percentage.
Right, the payout percentage, which, depending on the company, is going to vary by company and by your age. So it may start out at a 5% withdrawal rate for age 60. And then some companies increase it every 5 years, some increase it every year,
some every 10 years.
So, right. So it's not as easy as saying, oh, here's your calculation for every company. You're going to take $200,000 multiply times 5%, and guess what? You can pull out your 10 grand a year, and you'll be fine. It doesn't always work that way. But it is a nice baseline. I always call it for the Ronco retirement plan, where you can set it and forget it.
Yes.
Because you can set it in there. About dollars now, you can set it up so that if you know you need income in 10, 15 years, 5 years, whatever that number is, you can literally know today what you put in, what that minimum amount of income is going to be when you turn it on.
And that actually is your contractual guarantee, what your income will be in the future. Now, what folks need to understand is that the actual real return, the real yield on their annuity would be a fraction of that.
Right.
Typically, when they have this type of a rider, I mean, you're going to be looking at caps in the 4 or 5%, maybe 3%.
I was going to say maybe 3%.
Yeah. and so your actual earnings on your cash is going to be maybe more in the neighborhood of 3%.
Yeah, 2 to 3%. Even.
Yeah. Yes. So that in essence, if you wanted to walk away with that money at the end of the surrender period, you wouldn't have the $200,000 that the roll-up has grown to.
Right.
All you would have is, say, maybe $130,000, $140,000 that your 3% had earned over that same 10-year time period.
Right. Where this works well is for somebody that's trying to design a personal pension to set it up as a future income stream for themselves. They know they want the future income stream.
Yes.
Yes, there's flexibility built in that you can change your mind, but that's where the strength of these products really is.
Right. So what we experience on a regular basis, folks, is phone calls of folks that have been, I mean, I would just say, Eric, misled.
Yeah.
I mean,
they don't get the full understanding of what the product is. I've been called a liar because I've said that the 8% is not your money.
We rain on their parade all the time, telling them the truth.
Yeah. So we do our best to educate and help you understand the full product lineup. And that's what we insist upon with the people we work with. It's let's be upfront. Let's give you the facts. You'll make the determination as to whether or not that fits your situation.
Right. So I do believe that if folks would just use a little bit more full disclosure, Eric,
and maybe even a little common sense,
that the annuities do an excellent job of what they're supposed to do. They fit very well into retirement portfolios, and once people understand them properly, they're very comfortable with them.